Welcome to the Mini Grand Getting Started guide. In this video, we'll guide you through the steps to turn your box of components into an awesome electronic instrument. Everything covered in this video can also be found in the Getting Started manual, downloadable from amomi.com. Links in the description. Soldering. Step 1. We'll start with the resistors. Bend all of the resistors into U-shapes and place them in the correct spot. Use a piece of cardboard to hold the resistors in place while you turn it over. Heat up both the solder pad and the resistor leg and introduce the solder. Be sure that the solder fuses with both the leg and the solder pad, creating a triangular shape. When they are all finished, use an angle snipper to cut off the excess, and use safety goggles to protect your eyes. Step 2. Solder the photoresistor in place and chop off the excess. Step 3. Place the audio amp IC with the notch corresponding to the notch on the label. Unlike with the previous two steps, if the IC is soldered with the wrong orientation, it won't work. Turn over the Mini Grand PCB and solder the IC in place. Step 4. Solder the two ceramic capacitors in place and snip off the excess. They look similar, but be sure not to mix them up. Step 5. Solder the audio jack in place. Be sure that all 4 legs go through and the jack sits flush with the PCB. Step 6.1. Put all of the push buttons in place with the legs at the side. Push the legs through so the bottom of the buttons are flush with the PCB. Can you see which one of ours isn't? You may need to slightly bend the legs if they don't fit through easily. Step 6.2. Place the red LEDs in their spots, making sure that the cathode, the small leg, corresponds to the flat edge on the LED label. As with the buttons, it is important that the LEDs sit flush with the PCB, so take care and use a piece of cardboard when turning it over. On top of this, you can use some blue tack to hold the PCB flat while you solder the LEDs in place. Finish and cut off the excess. Step 7. Snap the header strip into 5 pieces. You need 2 8s, 2 6s and keep the remainder for later use. Push the long side of the header pins into your Uno as shown. Then place the Mini Grand so that the small end of the header pins protrude through the solder pads labelled J2 to J4. Solder each header pin in place, then remove the shield from the Uno. Step 8.1. Put the passive buzzer in place, ensuring that the positive side on the buzzer corresponds to that on the label. Turn over the PCB and solder it in place. Step 8.2. Again, using the cardboard to assist you, put the 2 3-pin female headers in place. Turn over the PCB and solder. Try to make sure that the header pins are as straight as possible. Step 9. In a similar fashion to previous components, solder the switch in position. Step 10. Solder the screw terminal to the bottom of the PCB. As this component is on the bottom of the PCB, you will be soldering on the top. Step 11.1. Solder the electrolytic capacitors in place, ensuring that the cathode, short leg, corresponds to the flat band on the side of the circular label. Cardboard can come in handy here to keep everything flat while soldering. When finished, cut off the excess. Step 11.2. Put the 4 potentiometers in their spots, turn over the PCB and solder them in place. We used a small stack of cardboard to make sure everything was level before soldering. Step 12. With soldering finished, all that's left in this section is to attach the Amomi glow strip across the mini grand PCB using the female header pins. Make sure that the triangular arrows on the PCB are pointing to the right.